Okay, so this is a video about recent IELTS question. Restoration of old buildings in many cities involve enormous government expenditure. It would be more beneficial to spend this money to build new houses and roads. To what extent do you agree or disagree? Give reasons for your answer and include examples from your own experience. So first of all, please note that this question is, to what extent do you agree or disagree? So you have three options. You can structure this answer around agreement, you can structure it around disagreement, or you can structure it around partial agreement or partial disagreement. If you agree with this statement that okay, we spend a lot of money on old buildings, we need to do this on new houses and roads, write at least two body paragraphs in support of your viewpoint, in support of agreement. If you disagree with this statement, that is, you believe that we need to restore old buildings and we need to spend money on them, then write at least two body paragraphs on disagreement, on your viewpoint. If you partially agree with this, then you need to write two body paragraphs. The first body paragraph should be about why you agree, and the second should be why you disagree. And the circumstances of both should be different. They should not be in the same circumstances. So, having said this, let us discuss this answer, and you can read this answer by just clicking on the link below this YouTube video. It will direct you to to the relevant web page. Introduction. Okay, so as I usually say in introduction sets the entire picture for the body paragraphs. Basically it gives the purpose of the essay. That's exactly what I've done. I have written one general statement about the restoration of buildings, which is governments in various parts of the world invest in new infrastructure such as roads as well as restoration of old structures. I have brought both restoration of old buildings and roads into the picture. Okay, building a complex sentence using proper parallelism. Invest in two things. Invest in new infrastructure, and second is in restoration. And I've connected them using as well as. Please note that I've also given an example such as roads. Roads is an example of infrastructure. So this is a proper complex sentence that IELTS people look forward to. The second sentence gives, this first sentence gives the purpose, the second gives a plan. It gives a plan using since construction, since and construction, which makes this a complex sentence, since they are of immense cultural and historical significance. This is the first reason, and I will explain this in body paragraph 1. And they are an important source of revenue for local population. This is the second reason, and I will explain this in body paragraph 2. It is important that in introduction you should mention the reasons. If you are able to do that, you have given a proper plan for the entire essay, and the examiner understands, okay, this person is going to move in a very organized and structured manner. An organization fetches you more bands. Let's come to reason number 1. I began with idea 1. I'm sorry, this whole paragraph has only one idea, but I've talked about two things. First is the Taj Mahal and Red Fort in India, and the second is the President's House, the houses of President Thomas Jefferson and George Washington in the United States of America. So you can take examples from your own country. Okay. Remember, another point is that you can build examples using two approaches. The first approach is for example. That's an example, and that's what the question asks. Include examples from your own experience. But another form of example is more subtle form of example through such as also gives an example, though it's not a complete sentence, it's just a noun, but it still is an example. So I begin, old buildings such as the Taj Mahal in India are an important part of history and culture of a country. So this is my idea. They have immense cultural and historical significance, and with just one name I have started the idea in body paragraph 1. That is, they have history and culture. They represent history and culture of a country. The following sentence should explain this. Okay? If these structures are not available, people will not remember their past and they will lose their identity. So, okay, if they represent history and culture, and if these structures vanish, we will lose our history and culture. So these two sentences connect us to the main question, restoration of old buildings. It gives an idea, okay, we need to restore these buildings for this reason, identity. Okay. Then I come to an example. For example, the Red Fort in New Delhi is an important monument that reminds the citizens of Delhi of their past. So I've talked about Red Fort and Taj Mahal. And why do we need to maintain these structures? Why are these important? Why do we need to keep restoring them? And that's in the idea identity. And with an example, it reminds us it is about the Mughal culture, which is reflected in several old structures of the city and is an integral part of such and such. So the purpose is to explain why through ideas, an explanation of ideas, and why through example. Okay, you need to explain why in both these. Next, I've taken another case. Same idea, a different case. Similarly, the American government has preserved the houses of Presidents Thomas Jefferson and George Washington as a public heritage. And why have they done this? What is the reason? Why have they restored these presidents' houses? Because these structures form the core of the American democracy. Okay, so people get a sense of American democracy when they go to the houses of the founding fathers of their country. Okay, so this is the reason why they need to preserve these structures. So I have given reasons why these old buildings need to be restored, because they form an important part of history and culture, and I've explained history and culture amply through the two examples, Red Fort and the President's House. Then is the time for reason number 2. They are an important source of revenue for the local population, and let us come to that. Well, in this paragraph, you will explain monetary benefits using, you begin this paragraph with a cohesive device. Moreover, and I've used it because you're supporting the same argument that these structures must be restored. So, moreover, these structures are an important source of revenue for local residents. Now, you need to explain how they are an important source of revenue. And through this how, you will explain why we need to restore them. Okay? Since they help in earning money, we need to restore them, right? But how do they help in earning money? How are they an important source of revenue? Let's come to that. These structures invite both domestic and international tourists who spend a significant amount of money on guides and local products. Please note that I have converted a simple sentence, these structures invite both domestic and international tourists, into a complex sentence using an adjective pronoun who. Okay, so I've given the quality of the international tourists using who. For instance, millions of tourists visit Eiffel Tower. Now here's this very specific response. Please note that till now I have given very, very specific responses. Taj Mahal, Red Fort, Mughal culture, Delhi. I've named the presidents, American democracy. Okay, here again it is very specific. Eiffel Tower, French food. Okay, you will note in further discussion. They not only eat delicious French food, they refers back to the tourists, millions of tourists, and it builds cohesion in the answer. They not only eat delicious French food at restaurants, but also purchase products such as replicas of this structure. Please note that I have made this sentence complex by using not only but also construction, and this also improves my grammar as well as cohesion score, because I've connected two different sentences in one single sentence. This generates significant employment, so this is a benefit. Okay, millions of tourists come, they eat French food, purchase replicas, but what is the benefit? The benefit is that this generates employment. The employment means that it is an important source of income, revenue, okay? And the government earns tax revenue. So this is second benefit. So I have amply explained, clearly explained how the restoration of these structures, the old structures, this helps in monetary reform. Similarly, the Great Wall of China supports local economy in the north part of the country. Okay, then you can conclude the essay, and I guess conclusion is pretty clear. I'm planning to make a video soon on introduction and conclusion. I will share this video, these two different videos on how to write powerful introduction and powerful conclusion soon with you guys. So I hope the structure is clear. There are a number of elements that you need to keep in mind. Very specific responses, organized responses, they fetch more bands than vague or chaotic responses. Okay. Well, I hope you liked this video. Please share it with your friends, and thank you for watching.